Since the early 1990s, Ukraine has had the worst performing economy among the former Soviet states. Now, analysts say conflict threatens to tip it close to bankruptcy. Economist Ole Soskin, director of the Institute of Society Transformation in Kyiv, says the World Bank estimate that Ukraine's economy will shrink by 8% is generous.
We're expecting that Ukrainian GDP will fall by about 15% at year-end 2014. You have to remember that two parts of the country are cut off, Crimea and Sevastopol, and life in two other large regions, Donetsk and Luhansk, is completely chaotic.
Before the conflict in the east, exports from the Donetsk region totaled $1.5 billion a month, says Donetsk Governor Sergei Taruta.
Today, the companies in the occupied areas are almost all not working. Everything has been stopped. Coal mines, metal factories, coke plants, machine engineering, and as a result, the export of our products has fallen by 50%.
Ukraine signed a bailout deal with the IMF in April, worth $17 billion, part of a broader $27 billion rescue package. Last month, the Prime Minister said it will need boosting because Ukraine is now at war. But Ole Soskin warns the country should be wary of borrowing more money from the IMF.
The IMF is always thinking about how they will get their money back with interest, so naturally they are laying down corresponding conditions and asking Ukraine, how are you going to repay these loans?
Soskin is critical of those conditions, which require spending cuts and an end to gas subsidies. Public sector wages are being cut and property taxes raised. But such reforms go hand in hand with Ukraine's transformation, insists Donetsk Governor Sergei Taruta.
Reforms will only make us stronger against the disaster we have now. This is a time when society is consolidating around one desire: to change the authorities, to conduct reforms, and restart the economy fast.
Ukraine's national bank has implemented a floating exchange rate for the hryvnia currency. Its value has plunged more than 40%. The one lifeline is that makes Ukraine's exports cheap, but it has to find new markets. Weaning Ukraine off its historic reliance on Russia is healthy, says Ole Soskin.
Our exports to the European Union, Asia, Africa, and so on are growing fast, and so the economy is producing good turnover in this way. Plus, we are greatly decreasing our dependence on importing oil and gas from Russia.
As winter approaches, analysts say Ukraine's standoff with Russia over a $5 billion gas bill threatens its citizens' ability to heat their homes. European officials say they hope to strike an interim deal between the two sides later this month. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, Kyiv.